In Sri Lanka, a new government has taken over. 56-year-old hardline firebrand Marxist leader Anura Dissanayake has been sworn in as the president of the country. A day after he was sworn in as the president, the parliament has been dissolved. Dr. Harini Amarasuriya of the NPP has been appointed as the interim Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan President Anura Dissanayake has also appointed a new cabinet of ministers. With Harini Amarasuriya and lawmaker Vijitha Herath, a new cabinet is in place. Anura will oversee defence, energy, economy, finance, agriculture, planning, and many other key portfolios. At a time when Sri Lanka is looking out to come out of the deepening economic crisis, Anura taking over key portfolios like economic development and finance sends out a strong message to the people of the country. So hear what Professor Anil Jayantha has to say on Anura's plans for the economy.
It's a big challenge. Initially, the gravity of this mismatch, the inequality and the gap between rich and poor is huge, and large majority of people have been deprived the basic things. So some statistics and reports say more than 40% of the people are also in the poverty, and therefore the first thing what we have to do before launching and implementing the economic revival plan and how best we could direct the country towards the growth and development, we need to stabilize the economy, mainly the macroeconomic stabilization. So we have paid more attention on the fiscal stabilization, monetary stabilization, and the external sector stabilization. So those are the the major areas as far as the economy is concerned. But so coming to your question, so how best we address this thing, we need to provide immediate quick reliefs, and though that is difficult as of now, the situation is that without providing very basic things, especially the food, access to education, health and basic things, it's impossible for us to take this journey towards the path that we look for. So that is what we have thought, and the setup is there to some extent. Even the World Bank also has extended kind of budgetary support as well, amounting to some $1 million as well, and we have come out with our own program. First give this relief and make them comfortable in a way to with the basic things. After that, gradually we will implement our economic policies. So where we will really democratize our economic system, access to economies and opportunities would be given, factories and other economic opportunities would be brought back to the villages. Also likewise, we will discuss how the things are stipulated in our our program. The long term and the medium term and long term, our objective is to really empower them, make them engage in the economic processes and production processes, and then we are sure that they would get a decent income, in a way minimum income that would assure kind of financial freedom, economic freedom to satisfy their basic needs.
While the new president and his team have a huge challenge ahead of them in terms of economic stability, the International Monetary Fund has already called for a meeting in Sri Lanka. The International Monetary Fund has said that it is looking forward to work with President Anura Dissanayake. President Anura and his team and the JVP had already worked out strategies to meet out the conditions of IMF and also work on the economic stability.
Either we like it or not, now we have to solve this issue with the assistance of IMF within the given the agreement. But even with that agreement, there are some issues, fundamental issues with regard to the debt sustainability analysis and the fiscal the consolidation and all those things. So therefore, we need to renegotiate it for sure. That is one thing. However, it is the path to recovery is none other than only the expanding our production economy. By increasing the production only, we would find a path.
Professor Anil also feels that Anura has his own plans to make the country come out of the economic crisis. He says not just by working with the IMF, but also Anura will take the required international support to bring the country out of the crisis. Anura and his team in February this year visited India and met with the officials of the Ministry of External Affairs. Professor Anil says that Anura wants to work with India. He says Anura will maintain a cordial relationship with India and also a balanced relationship with both India and China at the same time.
So whenever we met political leaders, actually I do not know whether still they have those concerns. By that time they had a concern about Sri Lankan, the politics. The first question that they asked was, what's going to be your foreign policy? We know that then the leader Anura Kumara replied in this way, saying that we know that the world, the geopolitics are concerned. We don't have a role to play because we are a small country and we have a small economy. So majority of people are really depriving. So gap between rich and poor is very. So we have a different task to be done. Therefore, we are not going to take any role or play any role in geopolitics. But we know that India is very important to us, our neighbor, a big country. But India has a role in the geopolitics, we understand it. So, but we give you an assurance that our the foreign policy will not leave any room for any other country or a group or a bloc to come here and create unnecessary instability in the region. Then your security, India's security and the regions of the security would be guaranteed. We would not allow this thing. At the same time, since our objective is to develop our economy, we do not want to have to be really partial or to be a part of Indian politics as well, because you have a role. So better liberate us. So give us the freedom to deal with other countries as well, China, Japan and all the other countries, because we want to have this free and collaborative trade relationship with other countries. I think India accepted it, and I felt like from their the gestures, the facial expressions, they believed what we said. We told the same story and we follow the same policies, the same stories to China and other countries as well. Therefore, we have a strong belief that if we maintain this foreign policy, it would create a very conducive and friendly, cordial environment for us to deal with other countries. That is one thing we learned.
Though there have been talks about Anura's foreign policy and his relationship with India and China and how he is going to balance the relationship, the talks within the country, what people feel within Sri Lanka is like how he is going to run the government in the next few days. That is till the parliament elections. The parliament election is scheduled to happen on November 14th and the first session of the parliament will be on November 21st. So it remains to be seen how Anura will take control of the situation and how the snap parliament election is going to help the JVP.